Here we go. It is the Nightcap, brought to you by Galactic Fried Chicken right here on BearcatJournal.com. I'm Chad Brendel. He's Aaron Smith. Aaron, I'm happy. You know why I'm happy? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're having Aaron issues. Not good. Aaron? Uh-oh. We've got computer Aaron. I'll do the ad. I'm happy because I had dinner at Galactic Fried Chicken tonight.
Yeah.
Kelsey came home from school. She said, Dad, she called me actually. There's like this little period where she gets done with school and she's waiting on the bus. She called me and said, Dad, can we have Galactic Fried Chicken for dinner tonight? And I just like, I can't say no to that. That's not going to work. So Kelly obviously had her first day at the clinical trial today. So it was kind of daddy-daughter dinner night. So she tricked me. I say, all right, we're going to go get in the car. She sneaks out like all of her blankets and like a big squishmallow. And she just sleeps the whole drive because we're a good 30 minutes from Galactic Fried Chicken. She sleeps the whole way there. And I'm like, we're here. And she's like, just go get it. I'm gonna stay here. Sleeps the whole way back. She used me for a nap.
Well played.
And yeah, I mean, what can you do? But I got some tendies, got some fries. Kelly wasn't overly hungry after getting treatment for 9 hours today. So she had some mac and cheese and some mashed potatoes. So yeah, Galactic Fried Chicken. But a couple things. The long Galactic Fried Chicken ad today. Super Bowl. Go to the app, galacticfriedchicken.com. You can timestamp, like you can delay your orders. So if you're going to order for the Super Bowl, I would suggest getting that done ASAP so that you can make sure you're high on the priority list to get get your chicken tenders and sides and whatever you want for your Super Bowl party. I would highly recommend that. How are there people that eat 3 of their chicken tenders? I usually do the fried chicken. So I don't do the chicken tenders a lot. I did the chicken tenders tonight. I had 2 of them, and I was just like, oh, I'm so full.
I haven't eaten more than 2. I've done it twice. I've had Galactic Fried Chicken twice, and I've not been able to eat more than 2.
The other thing, their delivery now goes through their website app. It's much more reasonable pricing, a wider delivery range. You still need an Uber Eats account so that somebody from Uber Eats will pick it up and drop it off. But they're handling a lot of that stuff in-house to keep prices down. So galacticfriedchicken.com. The delivery range is pretty big. So remember, they're right there, 10 minutes from downtown. So if you're in and around downtown or whatever, go to galacticfriedchicken.com. You can place delivery orders. It finishes through Uber Eats, and then they'll bring it to you for cheaper than what you would have gotten with any of the delivery apps. So there you go.
Great.
We'll start with we were going to talk about this last night, but we got kind of sidetracked with the game. And we just watched it. I just had Aaron watch it before we started. Kobe Bryant's Jim Thorpe Award speech.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't watched it, you have to go watch it. It was so good, Aaron.
He's a humble kid. He's very well spoken. He's polished, super polished. And it makes sense as to why he was almost always available anytime the media asked to speak with him after a game, because he's a kid that you want in front of a microphone. Like when he talks, you just want to listen. You want to talk with him. He looked so happy to be up there and just so thankful. He thanked everyone from Kelsey to Coach Fick to his, younger.
Not my daughter, the Shark, Kelsey
The Shark.
Sharkey,
Yeah.
the brilliant genius behind UC's video operations. I just want to make that clear. He didn't thank Kelsey, my Kelsey.
But yeah, he was just super thankful, just very appreciative of his family and the opportunities they provided for him and the drive that they gave him, and it was cool to watch.
I was impressed with the jokes. Like he had really good jokes. Like that's a hard thing as somebody that's not in front of a crowd a lot. And he didn't look like he had anything written down.
No.
It looked like he just freestyled it.
Yep.
So kudos to him because that type of stage presence is difficult, man. You get up there, your brain goes blank. You start looking in the crowd. Your mom's there crying. Like, you know, that's not an easy setting.
A little different than playing in front of 40 to 80,000 people.
You don't have to talk to them.
Right.
I still think the best was like I thought when I didn't know anything about Oklahoma City. I thought when I got here there was going to be like horses going down the expressway with the cars. So good. Yep. So good. So yeah, there's that. Just another look into, the type of kid that this program is producing. We'll have to podcast him one day. So I think Kobe would be really good in that setting.
I agree.
Coffee with Cunningham today. Mm-hmm. This is courtesy of our friend Bearcat Nation 11, who was on the call. I'm interested in your thought on this NIL comment that John Cunningham had.
Okay.
So they had 142 different individuals participate in NIL this year, 142 different UC student athletes. 9 hired agents and made some national money. He mentioned the offensive line deal with Skyline. That's how it's supposed to go. But this is the interesting part. Now it's moving into these donor collectives hidden by LLC, and now they're getting paid to do quote-unquote community service. Cunningham says it can't be about donors paying players and being general managers. He said we're going to make sure we stick to our values and donors don't take control of our team and who is recruited, but we want to grow NIL and how we grow that nationally, but we don't want to disrupt those rooms and those team dynamics. We talked about this a little bit on the BCJ podcast earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Is that that's word for word Luke Fickell, right?
I mean, it sounds like something he would say for sure. It's a sticky situation, this whole NIL deal. I mean, the NCAA pretty much never got out in front of it, so now they're playing catch up with all of it, and they honestly have no clue what to do, which is why the NIL and the transfer portal and even you're seeing some of the recruiting classes, it's becoming the wild, wild west, and we haven't seen this in years, not to this degree, not at least out in front the way that it's happening now. And now it's happening above board as opposed to under the table. And the whole thing is fascinating, to say the least. And I guess I'm surprised that the LLC stuff is here because I hadn't really heard anything about it at this point.
Oh yeah, like that's how they're kind of handling like the recruiting stuff. Like, come here and do some community service for this LLC, and you get $50,000 or what? Like it's. But the interesting part is, I know a lot of people are going to look at it and say, "Well, you better play the game." There is a dangerous point in there that Cunningham made. And it's actually twofold. One, the donors that feel like that's my recruit.
Right. I helped get the kid here.
Like, the kid's here, so now you owe me, which is how that works. Like, you want to know why Texas is such a disaster, like in terms of how their football program is structured? And it's not even funny. It's the reality of they have given the donors so much power.
Yeah.
That the donors believe we run the show. You don't run the show. We run the show.
Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. I don't know if you're allowed to still use that phrase or not, but I mean,
I probably wouldn't, but I'm kidding, Aaron.
I mean, but it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, there's too many people who feel the power and think that they're in charge, and you don't have
too many chefs in the kitchen.
There you go.
Too many chefs in the kitchen.
I'll probably use that going forward, for being honest. But yeah, I mean, it's
the other
a
thing
mess.
is the locker. The other thing is the locker room,
Hmm?
because you think kids don't know, like, that guy got 50 grand and I got 5.
You can't stop an 18-year-old from talking about how much money they just made to come to this school.
Right.
Hmm.
And it's, I've watched it in college basketball a lot. The places that are known for this, and now it's legal, so it's a little different, or it's above board at least. Legal's another
Yeah.
shady gray area term. Now it's above board and everybody's doing it. But there's also this feeling of like, look, man, I got my money. I got my family's taken care of. I got paid. Like, you can't tell me what to do.
Well, and you
That
wonder if that's what happened up at Ohio State with the kid who was a one and done, got his $1 million and bounced.
Yeah. Well, and he saw that the guy ahead of him couldn't go to the draft, so he was that's more likely it. Where, like, if they're blocked, they're not sticking around to fight for the backup anymore, because they can go somewhere else and get another $1 million NIL deal or $100,000 NIL deal or whatever.
And that's where you're seeing some weird things now with, if we give you this money, like contractual things, like you have to stick around for X amount of years, or
But that's not how it, like, that wouldn't hold up in court.
I don't know how. It's messy. It feels dirty. I really feel like the less I know, the better I feel about this sport that I love. Because it's just kind of it's gross, man. I'm
It's
happy the kids
not,
are getting.
because
Well, I'm happy the kids are getting paid. Don't get me wrong, because I feel like that is long overdue.
but
But
the creepy old men
right,
trying to force their way
right.
into power is the creepy part,
That's the
like,
dirty
without
part that
question.
I don't want to know anything about it, or why they feel like this is the drum I can bang now because I got this kid here, or whatever the case may be. Like, it's
Yeah.
icky.
My daddy made, in the Texas school situation, my daddy made $1 billion in oil. So now I'm going to be a power broker at the University of Texas.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but it's here to stay. It ain't going anywhere. But it was interesting to get John Cunningham's thoughts, like, on the record
Yeah,
on that.
I'm surprised he said anything. I feel like the more you can distance yourself from it all, the
Again,
better.
it sounded like it came right from Luke Fickle's mouth. Like,
If not from
somebody,
him, from PR, like
from,
from somebody.
yeah.
It was definitely a set up statement. It
But
wasn't
I'm
like,
talking about, like, how Luke does business, like how Luke
yeah,
builds his team, how Luke
yeah.
builds the culture around the program. Nobody's coming in and telling me this is, I got you this, top 25 recruiting class, and now I'm the captain.
I
Like,
don't
no,
I don't think that's how that's
no.
gonna fly. It's
But
Cincinnati.
again, there's so many other places that's how it flies. Somebody did bring up an interesting in that thread. I'll find it here. And it's Cincinnati is fit. And I won't out who he is. I know who he is. I'll leave it go. NIL overrun and donor involvement may make Luke even more weary of leaving UC in the foreseeable future. He has control and say so here, and I don't think any donors misunderstand that. Not the smart ones anyway. That's not a terrible point.
No, I mean, because there's not that precedent at Cincinnati, because this is a young program as far
Right.
as the
The donor
winning,
base.
and the winning,
Well,
which
yeah, but we're
comes
talking
along
about the
with
donor base.
comes
Yeah.
along with the donor base. But yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to deal with, the generations of donors that have been at, Ohio State, or any of these
Notre
bigger
Dame.
these bigger traditional blue blood programs. Like, he kind of gets to run it, and if he doesn't like how things are going on with a donor coming in trying to strong arm or something, he can just be like, yo, I was doing it before you got here.
And at Ohio State or Notre Dame or any of the other places we've talked about at the top of the sport, that ain't how the ecosystem works.
No.
Like this is John Smith, and John Smith is a major factor in what happens on and off the field here. And you're going to have to make sure John Smith is taken care of.
Happy.
It's a good way to put it. So that was a good point. I just wanted to bring that up and add it to the topics for this evening. That's gonna wrap it up. I don't have a whole lot else. Into the weekend we go. Fridays. I don't know how we're gonna do this weekend. I guess tomorrow
I'm probably not going to be available Sunday.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say tomorrow. Maybe we'll look ahead to Tulsa. Saturday we'll recap Tulsa, and Sunday will probably be the we get one night a week off here for the nightcap is how we've kind of structured it, and I think that's fair. And getting these up 6 nights a week, you guys can understand if we need a night off, a break from doing it. We won't ever do that on the night that the BBP is recorded or that the BCJ pod is recorded.
If the Bengals win, I'm not going to know my name.
That might be we might have to do that.
I'm going to be
just have you on your phone.
Oh man, what a mess.
I'll set it up and send you the link on your phone, and you can. Who did I?
Anything is possible.
just for live Aaron, we might have to do that. And then here's our first hint at this. Well, we hinted a tiny bit on the BBP. Friday, this coming Friday, not tomorrow, but next Friday, we'll be here all day. I don't want to give too much away yet, but we'll be live on YouTube all day next Friday, the 19th, right? The 18th, the 19th, 18th. So if you're going to be at work, if you're going to, kind of making plans for your Friday, just plan on having the YouTube up.
Get your popcorn ready.
Get your popcorn ready. We'll have some. We're going to have some fun on Friday here on the old Bearcat Journal YouTube channel as we push towards 1,000 subs. If you're not subbed and you're watching this every night, please sub. Please. There's a good core of you guys that are watching this show every night. If you're not subbed, please do so. We beg of you. Please. We'll see you tomorrow night. He's Aaron Smith. I'm Chad Brendel. Belly full of Galactic fried chicken. It's a nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.